So here's the thing. On the internet, there's all kinds of advice for men, giving you insight that some are accurate and extremely helpful, while others, in my opinion, are very damaging and causing more harm than good. All right? But I think as a man, you have to be aware of what you're up against and what you're going to be dealing with in this dating world. Now, some of you may be at a point where you just feel like, man, I don't want to care about dating. I don't care about women. If that's where you're at, cool. But be real with yourself. Is that what you really want in life? Or have you just lost hope? Are you just discouraged about the prospects out there? And if that is the case, then I want you to understand that you can have and find a great relationship. But you have to be mindful of certain things, all right? So one of the things I think as a man you need to understand if you want to have a better dating experience is know that all women are not the same. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying there aren't some fundamental principles that tend to apply to, let's just say, most women, or at least a lot of women. What I am saying is you have to go in not fully projecting all these ideas onto every woman you meet. There has to be a way where you balance taking the knowledge that you may gain, whether it be from me or someone else, whatever the case may be, from a book you read, and use that as like a foundational piece of understanding, but still allowing this woman to show you who she is, to show you what resonates with her, all right? So you still have to go into your dating experiences trying to learn that woman rather than assuming certain things. Because a lot of men find struggle and get frustrated because they're taking these rules they've been taught and they're assuming that this should work on every woman. And when it doesn't, they're thinking, women are just crazier, right? Women are just more frustrating. Women just don't know what they want. It's like, no, everybody's different. And again, everyone can be different. And we have to be careful with understanding that the internet isn't always real life. So all the things you learn on the internet does not always apply to real life. So one thing that comes to mind is the idea that women want a man making six figures. Now, don't get me wrong. Are there tons of women who would love a man who makes six figures? Yeah. Are there tons of women who, if you ask them that question, then of course that would be ideal for them. But I want you to pay attention. The vast majority of relationships right now that exist are women with men who don't make six figures, all right? So it's not like it's this hard line that every woman you come across or every attractive woman you come across is gonna hold to. It may be what she may hope for, but what you're gonna learn is the more someone likes you, the more flexible they are with certain ideals that they had. Which brings me to the next point I wanna make. She is less concerned about your money when she's really into you. Now, hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying money isn't important or doesn't play a role. I encourage you as a man to strive for financial stability first. I think that would be the best thing for you to do. It doesn't mean you need to be rich. I don't like some of the rhetoric I see on the internet that's like telling men you have to be above six figures or have X amount of money, because that may not be where you find your happiness, bro. Like, I'm not going to tell you to strive to make six figures if you can find peace and happiness making 60 grand a year, doing something that you actually love and enjoy, that you're proud about. And with that, you're able to learn how to handle your money properly and live a lifestyle that allows you to achieve stability, peace, and joy. All right? If that's the level that you're comfortable with, there's nothing wrong with that. All right? Now, some may say, well, at that level, you're not going to be able to access certain women. True enough. But again, sometimes you will not find your happiness will be found in the women that does fit your life, not the women that you think you want. It's almost like you have, someone could want a really expensive car. They could want a Lamborghini, right? and think, man, if I had this Lamborghini, I'd be so happy. And then they finally work towards getting the Lamborghini, but then they realize it's a freaking headache. The maintenance is out of control. They're getting unwanted attention. Let's say they're constantly getting stopped by cops because they're in this fast, flashy car, and it becomes more of a headache than they could have ever imagined. Well, guess what? The same thing happens to men with women. You got men who think, well, I want this 10 or I want this amazing looking woman. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you want. But for some of you, if she doesn't fit your actual lifestyle, if she's not in alignment with who you are, she will become one of your worst nightmares. It will be a headache. Not because that's just how women are and women are horrible. No, because you're with someone who you don't fit with. All right? So identify the life that you want to live and then only entertain women who fit that life with you. But getting back to the point of the more she's into you, the less she's worried about your money. Here's the thing. I've seen situations with women who will meet a guy and first date, she's asking for money, asking to be cash apped or whatever the case may be, right? And then yet go out with another guy and for weeks never even mention money. And you know what the difference is? To that other guy who she's not asking for money, she sees value in him past the money. And therefore, she's not focused on the money with him. She actually really likes who he is as a man. Whereas the guy that she's asking for money right off the bat, she only views him as an ATM. Now, if you're struggling to grasp that, let's reverse it. Think about men. A lot of times, if a man goes out with a woman who he sees no real potential with, what will he be quick to go after with her? Sex. Because to him, the value in dating her is the sex because he sees nothing greater than that past sex with her. But when you meet a woman that you're really into, that you really like, you become a little bit more cautious to push for sex because you see greater value in her and in the potential of this situation. It's no different. So when you get caught up in the idea of women want money, just understand that yes, they want stability, and some do want a certain amount of money. But ultimately, does she like you for who you are? And when you focus on building who you are as a man up, and then only entertain women who like that man, who you are as a man, not just what you possess, you will find greater success in dating. The next thing to understand, and y'all might not like this one, but I had to mention it. All right. If you want dating to get better for you, and I'm going to say specifically for the man who is looking for a serious relationship, all right? The man who may still be open to the idea of marriage, you need to be a little bit more patient with the sex. Listen, I know I spoke about this on a podcast. It should be dropping soon, but and they kind of cringed at that statement. But for real, here's what I want you to understand as a man. We got to be real with ourselves. Some of you may be able to handle engaging sexually and not letting it cloud your judgment. All right? And if that's you, then it's your choice as an individual to do what you want to do. Even though I think waiting is still great, I think if you know, depending on what your belief system is, I'm not telling you to go out there and have sex, but I get it. Most people don't wait that long, or the damn sure not wait until marriage for most people. We're not even going to get into all that. What I want you to focus on is, are you the man who can handle thinking clearly once you engage sexually with this woman? And more specifically, if after you engage and it actually was really damn good, can you think straight? Because a lot of the heartache, a lot of the bad choices men have made, a lot of the situations that have turned toxic are men holding on to women that don't belong in their life because of the sex. All right? And their inability to separate the fact that, okay, I may enjoy her in this area, but she is not a good fit for my life. So you as a man have to be honest with yourself, because it can get real messy when you start to engage, and depending on how many women you might be dating, it creates an extra layer of conflict, of potential drama. And so it's something to be mindful of. All right. So again, if you're dating for the sake of serious relationship, potential marriage, then I do think waiting is in your best interest. Now, here's another thing you have to be mindful of if you want dating to get better for you is respect needs to be established early on in the dating process. All right. So what I have come across as a coach is a lot of men, especially when they're dating a woman that they view or they hold in high regard, is letting her get away with disrespectful behavior because you're trying to hold on to this woman and you're hoping you can push things forward. You may feel like she's so beautiful or you're just so lucky to have her, whatever the case may be, or hell, maybe again you had sex with her and you don't want to let that go. Either way, you're allowing her to cross disrespectful lines. And what you have to understand as a man is letting her get away with disrespect does not make you more attractive in her eyes. It does not win her over, all right? If anything, you will lose more of her respect and you will become unattractive to her. Now, when we talk about establishing respect, and I'll even use the phrase, you gotta learn how to check a woman. When I say check her, I don't mean be disrespectful. I don't mean be an a-hole about it. That doesn't need to happen to check a woman. I just mean you have to respectfully, in a healthy manner, draw a line that says, hey, we don't do this here. Or, hey, I am not going to accept such behavior. And here's the key. After you express that and you establish that, if she blatantly crosses that line again, not that she had a mistake, like let's say you let her know, okay, we don't do this no more. And let's just say, for example, she calls you out your name. She calls you the B word. All right. Some women have been accustomed to toxic relationships where they think this is okay for them to do this. So let's say she does that. And you check her and say, listen, we don't do that here. If you call me that again, this is done. Okay? If she's on her best behavior for the next few months and she has a moment where it kind of slips, I'm more willing to work with it if she has shown that she's made vast improvements and she is showing you great respect. But if you tell her that and a few days later, a week later, she's back on that, or even if it's months later, she does it with like blatant disregard and doesn't care, and in that moment while you're checking her, she doesn't reel it back in, you got to drop her at that point. You cannot allow her to think this is okay. And when you say, I will not accept this, and then you accept it, again, you've lost more respect. All right? So you've got to establish those boundaries early on. And again, in a healthy manner. You don't have to come across like an asshole in order to establish respect from a woman. It's not necessary. You just have to show that you're a man who holds true to his word. All right. And you have to lead by example. If you're going to tell her, don't talk to me in a disrespectful manner, then you can't turn around and talk to her in a disrespectful manner. That's not, all you're doing is creating or contributing to a toxic environment. And if you want to have healthy relationship, you want to have peace in your home, then you have to learn how to lead with peace as well. And now the last thing I want to mention that you've got to understand so that dating won't be so hard for you is that do not internalize rejection. All right? At the end of the day, everyone's not going to like you. And guess what? That's fine, because you ain't going to like everyone either. All right? And it doesn't matter how great of a guy you are. It doesn't matter how amazing you were on that date. A lot of women, I would argue most women, are just not the right fit for you. All right? The problem is I see men go out on these dates, and when it doesn't work out, they internalize the rejection of this woman, which either causes them to become insecure, they lose confidence, or they become very negative, bitter, and they lash back out at women rather than just saying, okay, it just didn't work. She wasn't for me. And again, sometimes you got to be real with yourself. Sometimes you were trying to hold on to a woman who did not belong in your life in the first place. And it's almost like, thank God she left you. Thank God she ghosted you. Thank God whatever, because she was not best for you. Don't take that so personally to where you now carry this negative energy with you into future dating situations. Just because she didn't appreciate the man that you were, doesn't mean the next woman won't. All right. Now, if you're finding yourself constantly in this pattern of women not at least being able to have healthy or positive interactions with you, right? Then yes, I do want you as a man to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I do better? Not in a way that beats yourself up and again, cause you to have low self-esteem, but in a way that empowers you to say, okay, how can I get to the next level and be a more desirable partner, be a man that even when it doesn't work out, like you get to a point where, okay, it's still a cool experience, but yeah, we realize we're just not for each other. Rather than it always being something bad, all right? But the main point is, do not internalize rejection. Do not date with a scarcity mindset. Understand that, again, there are lots of good women out there. Yes, it may take time to meet them. It may take a process in your own life to be able to attract them and have opportunities with them, but they do exist. So as long as you hold on to that and you understand that and you continue to move forward in a more positive mindset, then that blessing will eventually come. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. There are women who are very problematic. There are women who can be a huge problem if you try to establish a relationship with them. And so I want to start to identify some of these women. If you meet one of these women, run the other way. Don't do it. Don't deal with it. Avoid these types of women. My name is Stephan Laboussiere, aka Stephan Speaks. Back with another dating and relationship advice video. Today's video is for the men, and we're talking about the 7 types of women to avoid dating. Before we begin, as always, be sure to like the video, share it, subscribe to this channel, and hit that notification button so you can be made aware every time I drop a new video, all right? So previously, I did a video on the 7 types of men to avoid dating, and I told y'all I'm gonna come back with the 7 types of women to avoid dating.